We land the crunch and look to snipe with Electrode. We are now ahead in energy. They come in to a Snarlalola mock. Now the game is working correctly. You want to throw on alignment. The opponent throws on CMP. We win CMP. I am now going to outpace to the next discharge. And if the opponent double shields, you already know they are super weak. And Electrode is about to sweep. So let's get into today's video. Holy fucking crap. Shadow Elecrrode safe switch is absolutely phenomenal in this meta. We already know I love the Shadow Rat that I invest in. It cost me a load, but this thing is awesome. Nidoqueen is a staple in this meta. I haven't really used it, so we're going to bust out this line of 3, and I had absolutely loads of success. I couldn't recommend this team highly enough. This has been the best team I've managed to have in Kanto Cup, but without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we see the big fat rat into Mew. Absolutely beautiful. They safe switch into a poison jab mark. I call the acid spray, and we are now looking to get towards back-to-back discharges. We really want to maintain that correct alignment, as rat is a pretty thick wall to Mew. We can't volt switch down. I know this is an acid spray, but the volt switch that has gone through will knock out, and I am going to commit one shield. Back out comes the Mew, and we are going straight for a foul play. Electrode draws a shield, so we managed to get shield parity. Back out is going to come the rat. Let's see what the opponent has in the back. They build up to a wild charge, but big fat rat couldn't give a flying fuck. We tank the wild charge on the chin. They switch out into a rat of their own. We have Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is pretty good in even shielding scenarios in any neutral matchup because the debuff is super annoying. The opponent lets it go, and likewise, I am not going to shield up the crunch. Crunch lands for decent damage. We get the defense drop, not fantastic, but I'm going to allow myself absolutely no farm. Fire off this Poison Fang to get rid of the rat, and this game should be over. Back out comes Mew. They're going to need to get to back-to-back moves. They have absolutely no hope. First crunch will be drawing a shield from the Mew, and second crunch is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. You will notice with this team, alignment is pretty key, as the rat has some really hard wins and hard losses in this meta. Moving on into the next battle, we see Alola Marowak in the lead. The opponent is staying in. Firing after 4, this is just a bone club. My rat doesn't have the best IVs, and despite being Shadow, we still tank that reasonably well. The opponent is going to shield up this crunch. We get the defense drop as well. We CMP tie on the next move. I couldn't really care. You can take me out, but the rat survives. We're going to get to crunch number 2. Is the opponent willing to go down 2 shields? Yes, they are. We actually get a second defense drop, so I come in to Electrode, and I am going to look to get ahead on energy. I'm going to shield up the first bone club. The opponent is looking to catch a foul play on their Alola Muck, but guess what? We held our energy. Discharge gets it fairly low. Can we outpace to the next move? No, we cannot. So I am going to shield this up. Dark Pulse would do big damage. I can now over farm. We throw 2 more volts, which is this discharge is going to be enough to take care of the Muck. I go for a cheeky undercharge, but it KOs. Regardless, back out comes Marowak. We will survive a Bone Club and get off a foul play. So Bone Club doesn't take us out. We undertap. I actually go for a discharge, thinking the opponent might try and catch. They do not catch. Discharge still takes them out, and in the back is an Alolan Sandslash. This is going to be somewhat tricky. However, they go straight for an Ice Punch. Let's see how much it does. Ice Punch does big damage. Can we outpace to the Earth Power? Yes, we can. And Earth Power from a Shadow Nidoqueen is going to be all enough to take this battle. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Galarian Rapidash in the lead. I probably should be safe switching into Electrode, but like an absolute noob, I am staying in. You can see the quick attacks are doing huge damage. Mega Horn would one shot, so I respect it with a shield, and we are going for a crunch bait. Rapidash is super glassy. They shield it up. Can we outpace to the next one? Unfortunately, I don't know the count. 4 Mega Horn, and we get absolutely wrecked. We lose CMP. I now come in to Nidoqueen. They come in to Hypno, and this is looking pretty fucking dreadful down a shield. We sneak a Volt Switch. This is just going to be a Elemental Punch, but Nidoqueen really doesn't want to see Hypno. So I go for a foul play. I'm hoping the back-to-back foul plays will be enough to knock out. It lands. Can we Volt Switch down? No, we cannot. Hypno survives on 1 HP. And a dream, and that pretty much is going to seal our fate. We come in with Nidoqueen. We commit to the Poison Jab farm down. They come in to a Dragonite. The opponent isn't going to shield this first move, and they are going to outpace us to a Dragon Claw. We get the defense drop. You can see we do get outpaced, and unfortunately, we lose that battle. GG's to the opponent. Really loving the spice the opponent showed there, and they caught me really off guard. Moving on to the next one, we see Pidgeot in the lead. The opponent makes a great catch, catching the Crunch onto a Poliwrath. Crunch still does decent damage. We come in to Electrode, we sneak a Volt Switch. I'm not going to shield this up. We will survive any one move that Scald lands for big damage. We Volt Switch down on 1 HP and a Dream. Electrode didn't tank that anywhere near as well as I was expecting. We are going to draw a shield from this Pidgeot with a Discharge, and now we are sitting once again in the opening matchup. I'm going to call the Feather Dance. Pidgeots love to bait. I absolutely dare you to Brave Bird me. They go for a Feather Dance. We are going to look to bank the energy, but you can see my switch timer hasn't elapsed, so I am going to have to throw a Crunch. Crunch doesn't draw a shield. We look to snipe with Nidoqueen, and once again we are unsuccessful. I'm going to respect a potential Brave Bird. We correctly shield up a Brave Bird, and in the back is a Lapras. The Lapras still has a shield. I am going to shield this up myself, and then it is going to be a bait game. The opponent is going to look to call the bait, but guess what, Mr. Opponent? No baits on this channel. Earth Power, near one-shots. Can we Poison Jab down before the next move? Yes, we can, and that is a good game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see the Rat Mirror. We also see the weak connection glitch, which is super annoying. For some reason, all I ever get is weak connection with the new update, but at least fast moves are working as they should. We land the Hyper Fang. This is a purified Raticate. I am going to respect a potential return. They throw the return, so a great shield on our part. We are now going to switch out into Electrode. This is going to be a Crunch. Crunch is going to land for decent damage. However, I'm not willing to commit my final shield. They now switch out into Hypno. Can I get off the back-to-back foul plays? Hoping that confusion doesn't take us out. First foul play draws a shield, but unfortunately we do get taken out. But this isn't the worst spot because Rat is an absolute wall to Hypno. We come back in with the Rat. We go straight for a Crunch. We see no confusion come through. So I imagine the opponent has thrown an Elemental Punch, and that is exactly what has happened. We're going to tank this and look to quick attack down before they make one more Elemental Punch. Do we get there? We do not. But still, the Rat will survive. We tank the next one. I'm looking to snipe with Nidoqueen to get ahead on energy. Let's see what the opponent has in the back. Can Nidoqueen handle it? The opponent comes in to a Pidgeot. I really am hoping not to get the move caught, so I throw in the middle of the Gust. The opponent shields the first Poison Fang. Once again, they are staying in, so I get to Poison Fang number 2. This is going to land for big damage. The opponent dumps their energy. I am going to shield up. Even if you Feather Dance me, this game should be over. I imagine the opponent is going to look to reset their debuff, which they do. That gives us free farm, and Nidoqueen makes Poison Fang number 3, and we go a 4-1 in the first set. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Nidoqueen in the lead. Not particularly great for Rat, but not the worst matchup either. We go straight for a Crunch. Crunch lands for decent damage, so the opponent respects it with a shield. They build up to what could be an Earth Power, but I am not going to shield it up. They go for a Poison Fang. They are going to go for Poison Fang number 2. I am going to shield this up and look to get off the second Crunch. We overfarm by 1. This second Crunch will either knock out or draw the final shield. The opponent lets it go. It doesn't quite knock out, and they survive. This isn't actually the worst spot for us. I can come in and commit to a Poison Jab farm down or a Volt Switch down. We come in with our usual save switch of Electrode, and they answer once again with Hypno. This is exactly where you want to see the Hypno. We go to throw on what should be a CMP tie. I really don't want to take an extra confusion. The opponent shields it up. I am going to return the shield here, as we know, Nidoqueen really doesn't want to see any of that confusion damage. I'm looking to throw on CMP once again, and the opponent makes a great catch onto an Ice Shard user. It is Lapras, but we are only 1 Volt Switch away from the Discharge, so I'm going straight for the Discharge. This should be taken care of Lapras. I'm spamming out Nidoqueen. Can we manage to pull this game off? I'm going straight for a Poison Fang. The opponent is throwing. If they're not on Ice Punch, we should be sweet here. The opponent is throwing a charge move. Moment of truth. They go for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Nidoqueen survives, and we simultaneously KO. And we manage to win that battle. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we pick up an absolutely dreadful lead. Raticate really doesn't want to see any charm users. They switch out into Muck, so we fire off a Discharge. The opponent doesn't shield it up. We really want to flip that opening matchup, so I am going to shield up the Dark Pulse. We are going to outpace to the next discharge. Is the opponent willing to give up a shield, or are they just going to let it go down? The opponent lets it go. So we flip switch once again. Electrode, an absolute monster. The opponent comes into a Hex, Alolan Marowak. This is pretty much the dream for our rat. We just don't want to get fire blasted. That would be pretty dreadful. The opponent now makes a great catch on the second foul play, but Mr. Opponent, you're about to be very sad. We come in to Nidoqueen. These poison jabs absolutely ripping through this stupid Charmer, and you already know we're going straight for the Earth Power. Is the opponent willing to give up their final shield? No, they're not. And Nidoqueen absolutely goes off. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we've got the battle of two pretty thick Pokemon. However, my Shadow Rat with pretty garbage IVs isn't as thick as one would like. We're going straight for a crunch. The opponent, to my surprise, shields it up. We aren't going to shield anything. Let's see what the opponent throws. They go straight for the Skull Bash, and holy crap, that landed for some big damage. They managed to Ice Shard us down before we make the second crunch, which isn't fantastic. I am going to shield up the Surf, and with the raised defense, there's pretty much no chance of Volt switching down. So I build up close to the back-to-back discharges. Discharge will be taking care of Lapras, and we're heading energy for whatever they come in with next. The opponent comes in to a Snarl Muck. This isn't a bad matchup like we've seen in the video. These Snarl Mucks are absolutely everywhere. Discharge lands for big damage. The opponent is throwing. This would take us out, so I am going to choose to shield it up. We're already at the next move. The opponent now switches out into Ninetales, and I come in pretty quickly to Nidoqueen. I'm not even going to bait the Earth Power. We just want to get this defense lowered and look to Volt Switch all the way down. The opponent shields up, despite knowing it is a Poison Fang. They actually go straight for the Overheat. Overheat takes us out. All we need to do now is get to back-to-back moves. With the lower defense, this discharge is going to be taking care of Ninetales, and guess what? High Mark by Mark, because this discharge is going to be enough to take this battle. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle, we see Dugong in the lead. Absolutely something Nidoqueen doesn't want to see, so once again I am going to have to stay. We fire off the crunch before the opponent can lower our attack. Crunch lands for decent damage. Dugong is one of the bulkiest mon in the league. We've already got it into the yellow. We tank the Icy Wind. Our attack is now lowered. We outpace to this second crunch. Crunch won't knock out, but should put Dugong into a nice farm down range. The opponent actually shields. They actually get scared as well. They don't commit to the Ice Shard down, and this is now sitting us in a pretty sweet spot. I come in with Electrode. Can we Volt Switch down before the move? Yes, we can. Electrode snipes for a nice bit of residual energy. What is the opponent going to respond with? Once again, they come in to a Mott. I actually go for the extra, so we are going to shield this up, and Electrode is absolutely loaded. I fire one more Volt Switch. We're now close to 100 energy, and it's time to start unleashing discharges. The opponent doesn't shield it up. We Volt Switch down, and Electrode is still absolutely loaded. In the back was Mew, and that is all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one, we see Nidoqueen once again in the lead. They go straight for a Poison Fang. The rat doesn't need to shield this up. We tank the move, and we are going to fire back with a crunch. Crunch is going to land for decent damage. I've baited the Hyper Fang. Does the opponent respect it? Yes, they do. Once again, rat gets the defense drop, but unfortunately, we get Poison Jab all the way down, and this is a really tricky spot. They could go for the Earth Power, but I call the Poison Fang bait because I've got some huge Gahonas. The opponent could now throw the Earth Power, so we are going to respect the next move, and we correctly shield up the Earth Power. Poison Fang should be enough to knock out from this range, despite it being double resisted, and it does. Let's see what the opponent comes into. They come in to a Pidgeot, so we immediately safe switch into Electrode, and this is where the game gets absolutely fucked up. They've got the bulkiest Pokemon in existence. We're getting stabbed from discharge, but it's doing pretty much fuck all, and this game is going to look really an uphill struggle. We fire off another discharge, and the health is still in the green. However, likewise, Chansey doesn't actually hit. It just tickles. We tank that move despite being really glassy. I'm looking to get to 2 more discharges. Is this going to be enough to get Chansey somewhat low? Is it fucking bollocks? We now switch out into Nidoqueen. Back out comes Pidgeot. We are going to start unleashing these Poison Fangs. They don't shield the first. Correct play on their part. We get to Poison Fang number 2. Is this going to draw the final shield from the opponent? It finally does. They're looking for the farm down, and they get it. We got no choice but to shield this up. Absolutely brutal. Can we get to 2 moves against that Chansey? We managed to farm down. We're at the first discharge, but you already know this discharge isn't going to knock out, and we're running out of HP. And Mr. Opponent, with his stupid fucking Chansey, manages to beat us. GG's. Moving on to the next battle. We see a Snarlmok in the lead. Not a bad matchup for the rat. Sludge Wave is going to land for decent damage, but I'm not going to need to shield at this stage. We'll actually go for an Acid Spray. Holy crap, Snarl Acid Spray. Not really a moveset I was expecting. The opponent, once again, is now probably going to fire off a Dark Pulse, but with our lowered defense, we still don't give a fuck. We managed to quick attack down. The opponent now comes in to Nidoqueen. I really can't switch out as Electrode has a garbage matchup here. We are sitting in a really tricky spot as this Nidoqueen is pretty fucking loaded. We come in to our own Nidoqueen, and once again, it is going to be a bait game. I'm going to shield up, respecting an Earth Power, and to my surprise, the opponent actually goes straight for it. In the back is a Hypno, down shields. This isn't the best matchup for Electrode. We do throw on CMP, so no free confusion comes through. The opponent shields it up. I'm not going to shield this. Hopefully it's a Thunder Punch, and it is a Thunder Punch. Can we make one more discharge? Come on, Electrode, get there, and fucking hell, he doesn't get there. This is now really tricky. We're going to fire off a Poison Fang. Poison Fang gets a no shield from Hypno. I've seen Thunder Punch. I'm going to call another Thunder Punch. They didn't have the energy for a Shadow Ball. We managed to Poison Jab all the way down. Back out comes their own Nidoqueen. They're so low. I can just go straight Poison Fang. In this matchup, Poison Fang draws a shield from the opponent, and they now quit the match. We were somewhat in a hole there, but we managed to pull off the victory. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. We see Shadow Vic in the lead, and holy crap, Razor Leaf is absolutely tearing through us. Electrode has a dreadful matchup against Vic as well, so we are going to stay in. Can we make 2 crunches? No, we cannot. Not fantastic. We come in to Nidoqueen, and they give up switch, coming in to Articuno. Electrode fires off immediately. We win CMP against Articuno. The opponent no shields. They actually have another flyer in the back. Holy crap. Triple Shadow versus Triple Shadow. They've got double flies and a Razor Leaf user. That is a really spicy team. We draw one more shield. I really don't want to get hit with an Earth Power. I wasn't actually counting. I was a bit shocked by what I'm seeing. So we get baited with a Rock Slide. Nidoqueen is still with a shield. So we're just going to shield this up and commit to the Poison Jab farm down. The opponent throws an Acid Spray, but that is not enough to save their fate. Moving on to the next battle. We see Rat into Golbat. Not a bad matchup here. Obviously, they can only go for Poison Fangs. As we resist Shadow Ball, we tank the first. We are going to fire off a Crunch. Golbat, especially as a Shadow, is really glassy. They no shield, so I'm going to look to snipe with Electrode, and we do snipe successfully. They come in to a Snarlmok. Not the best answer to Electrode, especially behind on energy I throw when they reach the Dark Pulse. So the opponent gets no free Snarl. They throw on CMP. I am going to shield this up. And then once again, I'm going to look to throw on CMP. The opponent will be forced to burn their final shield if they want to keep this Muck alive, as Discharge would knock out from this range. And if they double shield, they must be super weak to Electrode. They do shield it up, so you already know I'm going to return the shield. Electrode might be about to sweep. We're going to outpace to this next Discharge. Discharge is going to take out the Muck. What is hiding in the back? The opponent comes in to a Shadow Omastar and then quit the match. GG's, and thanks for playing. Well, what can I say? Pretty fun battles there. A really hyped team. I couldn't recommend it any higher. And some pretty cool battles. It was great to see another Triple Shadows. If you're going to build one Pokemon, I'd highly recommend building this Shadow Electrode. I think it's a fantastic safe swatch. Obviously, you don't really want to see Nidoqueen, but other than that, it's not bad. Sandslash, there's a few ground types running about, but overall, they're not that common, and the rest of the team does cover that weakness. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. Leave a comment down below if you like your Triple Shadow battles featured on the channel. Link to my battle submission form is in the description, and I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.